My audio is working. I'm going to be looking at my phone right now. All right, welcome to my very first YouTube live stream. Still figuring out the studio. I'm still figuring out the vibe, mainly because it occurred to me that I can't stream music because of copyright issues. So, we're gonna listen to something together. We could do that. Yeah, let me see if I can find some tunes. Suppose if you put on anything that you are enjoying these days, then we can paint together with whatever music is making you happy. I'm gonna go to my spot. I'm not gonna share my screen because musicians, I respect the craft. And water, can you see it? Focus. Ooh, ooh. You see on my desk. I'm so used to painting with music. I didn't even think about what it would be like to be here without my music. See, what happens on YouTube is if you stream with music going, then they take the audio off, and then you won't be able to hear me speak. Although later I'll find out how the audio is on this. Oh, my palette. Just settling in. See if we can run Spotify while we do this. You know what? That might be a little intense. Just quit Spotify. Maybe I'll write it off my phone. All right. Communication errors. Why is the Excuse me a moment while I Who's this? One of the challenges with Wyatt. Still with errors. Not with me. And we are waiting. Not receiving enough video. I'm gonna look at this. Pardon me. Oh, it's just telling me that you're going to be experiencing buffering. Lower the quality of my chats up here. Still working this out. That's a direct connection to the Wi-Fi for next time would be best. Because then I could do the high quality video. Maybe I should lower. Well, what I'll do is I'll just start a little bit of color painting and check in again. And I'm just selecting my colors. I believe I have my link tree posted somewhere, and I've got some affiliate links for the paints that I'm using right now. Dr. PH Martins, in different sets, different color sets. The one that I linked is a really, really good set that covers pretty much a lot of the best colors. Well, all colors are the best colors, but a lot of the colors that are a really good way to start your collection. And right now I'm just going to figure out what colors I want to paint. And I'm also going to check music for myself. I'll get some music. I always have one ear off to hear what's happening in the house. Oh, I suppose I should send this link out, invite some people. Link out. Let's see, what colors am I going to start with? Just depends on what I want to paint. I'll get my other paper out. I like to take notes on what colors I'm using. I don't always make a brand new palette every time I paint. It's a good way to kind of start getting my mind in the right place. Krisztianna live stream #1. We're gonna go vibe painting, which is what I call it when I don't have a plan, but I definitely want to create. And I think right now, with everything going on, it's a really good way of centering. It's really attracting to reds and pinks and golds. So I'm going to start selecting some of these right now. Ooh, tiger yellow. Yes, please. I'll create a download for this palette that I have created. It'll be free to download as a PDF, and you can just print it out on your own watercolor paper. But I'm also considering printing out some on the watercolor paper that I have and mailing it to you. If you like the idea of that, send me a message and tell me how much you think that would be worth for you, and then I'll create it on my shop. Do main, secondary. Don't want a rainbow feeling, so maybe we'll keep it a simple palette today. I'm gonna do it like this. Ooh, what about a little ice blue? I was gonna put that inside. That's we're gonna do. Let's start with fuchsia. I know I want that right here. So right now I'm just creating a mood palette when I'm painting on this, and I have some of the exploration, the color exploration already worked out. So fuchsia, and definitely tiger yellow. Let me put tiger yellow down. So we've got fuchsia, tiger yellow, sunshine yellow. I'm feeling that. Whole camera shaking. Right on the table. Sorry. Let's not do the vertigo situation. Tangerine. Sunshine. I've been using a lot of sunshine yellow. Look at that. Whoops. I'm gonna have to get some more. And again, link in my link tree gives you a list of some of my favorite supplies from Blick. It's an affiliate thing, so it helps me out. But you don't have to buy these to be able to enjoy watercolor. Ice blue. What am I gonna put you? Ooh, no, not ice blue. Peacock blue. Yeah, that's right. That's the one I want. And we're just gonna do this whole area as peacock blue here. So I'm just gonna write it in. I'm creating my own. I'll do that on both these sides. That's how I'll keep it even. Apparently I can't spell peacock. That's how you spell peacock. Alright. The way I like to do my palettes is I start with a bit of water. Because if you go in straight with pigment first, it's a good way of getting a very strong saturated look. If you put water on, you have more flexibility with blending, and it's easier to blot if you get a little bit too much pigment. And at this point, for me, it's just a I know what's wrong. It is so bright in here. I had it right in here to get everything ready for the live stream, and I forgot to tone it down, but now the water's wet. So let's start with Tiger Yellow. I'm just going to put a drop directly. I'm going to do Sunshine Yellow here. I love the vibrancy of these colors. Don't get me wrong, anytime you get your hands on some watercolor, it's going to be the right watercolor. So don't worry about that. Watercolor's fun no matter what form you have it in. So these are really powerful. I'm really feeling this vibe more. So this is a good way to get the color on the paper. Let's see what we can. So now, the reason I built this palette the way that I did is it's time to play with the paint. See what happens when it's a lot of the exploration happens when you just push the paint around. Pardon me if I zone out. It's my zone out time. That is lovely. So noted. Fuchsia. Peacock blue. Fuchsia and tangerine. Love that. Can you see the way this paint reacts? Let's get it zoomed in. There. That's the kind of stuff I'm here for. Oh, what do we call it by then? Just watch that with me. It actually shows me that I need a third camera. I need a zoom in camera for when that watercolor does its thing. Next stream, maybe next stream. Like I said, this is my first official live YouTube stream from my studio. I've done other streams on other people's internet, their locations of their studios, but this is the first time I bring it to fresh my creative space. So see how I had wet it before I applied the paint? You get a lot of thickness. If it had just been a dry blot, you wouldn't have been able to mix as freely. A lot of magic happens when you wet paper first. So what's happening here is giving me life. So fuchsia, peacock blue. Y'all are my stars. Fuchsia, peacock blue. We're going to be working with you for sure. So now I'm going to be doing a little bit of cross mixing. I'm going to see these two here. And this is a very free form palette. There's no exact rule of like, oh, it has to match exactly this way. So I'm actually going to bring some of this yellow in here and see how much saturation of a lot of tiger yellow with a little bit of tangerine, or a lot of tangerine with a little bit of tiger yellow. This entire journey will inform how I feel about it. A little fuchsia. I'm curious about fuchsia with tangerine. Even though it's there, let's see. I bought it. This whole palette is about playtime. With the tangerine, who knew? I'm always surprised by colors. Sunshine yellow. See what you look like a little bit. Look how good. Just a very soft green. Almost grayish green. These petals on the outside are just for continuing to explore color. It's typically you want to mix every other with each other. Every other with each other. Honestly, it's just more playtime. This is a great technique for when you don't know what you want to paint and you're still working it out. I love this palette for vibe painting reasons. As I try to discover what colors I want to combine, how I want to mix them together. That's a lovely sunset, but that's not what I'm going for today. That's not how I'm feeling right now. Still streaming? Yes, it's working. As I get a little lost in the painting and I forget to check the technology. I should be posting a link next time of what I'm listening to, so that if you choose to do it with me, you could. That is surprising me how much I really love that. I was not expecting that. I do that again over here. Let's commit to that. The sunshine. What happens when it's more saturated? Love it. Surprisingly, it feels very fresh. Even though I would call that a gray, I wouldn't consider gray fresh. as I used to say as a child, fudgesia. That's one of my mother's and grandmother's favorite colors. Yeah, we're feeling rosy pink today. Lovely sunrise. Again, I'm just working on my palette or my painting. The best part is just figuring out what colors I want. How you guys doing? Okay. Bringing it up. Okay, we're gonna be doing something like that. Oh, I just got my idea. Realism. Playing. So I'm gonna come back to this palette in a moment because now I know I want to use this art masking liquid. We'll figure that out later. You over here to dry. Oops, so we're gonna do a bit of a pretend stained glass. I really like the idea of doing a lot of color melting here in large areas, and then having some of this art masking fluid just kind of representing a bit of control and the lack of control that I really like to encourage watercolor to do. So this is Watercolor Wednesdays. It's about relaxing, lowering the cortisol level, becoming present with paint, finding out how your body is doing through which colors you're attracting to, right? Just gives a bit of internal dialogue. Um, and one of the ways in which I like to approach that is with fantasy subject matter, because that's what I like. That's what comes naturally to me. Some people might like to paint flowers or chickens, because chickens are hilarious and adorable. We should do that next time. We'll do chickens next time. But right now, we're going fairies. We're going fantasy. Because there's the wings, there's the figure of the body, there's the sparkle aspect, right? So let's have her flying shoulders, there's some hips, cute little feet. I wonder why she's curled up like this. Maybe she's looking at something. She should be holding something. Holding something precious. A dewdrop. Should a dewdrop be precious? I don't know. We don't know what she's holding yet. Got a little face here. I'm gonna keep it simple because I'm gonna be using the eye mask for it. I'm getting to a lot of figurative bath, and here's of course Trying to figure out where she's holding it. That's very precious. All right, here we go. Wings. Why am I using a 2B? 2B is very thick graphite, so it tends to come out darker. But I guess that's what I grabbed, so that's what we're going with. I want the wing a little bit away from her booty. Sharper lines. Get a little swallowtail action. And here's some guidelines for me. I'm kind of okay with this dark pencil today. I think this is a good way to just show the structure of a drawing. As far as her hair, it's just a little eraser right now would be nice. This light off the paper. Moment rattling noises. I think I need about 5 erasers. One at each station, so it's not like one eraser wandering all the way around. Where did you go? Is there my pencil box in my purse? I need more erasers. You can't just have one eraser and transfer it around. Before, it wasn't a problem. They cleaned up this area so that I could paint for you. In the process of cleaning, I have displaced a most precious eraser. Most precious. Okay, well, let's find a different eraser. Not my favorite eraser, but it's different. Unless that was my last eraser. Quite possible. Okay, shopping list. Eraser. Such simple things. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get it from my purse outside of the studio because naturally. Thus continues the odyssey of the lost eraser. How embarrassing you guys get to see me rifle through my purse. I'm gonna do that off camera. It appears I am out of erasers. Well, I I shall buy a new batch of erasers. See, I can't just use the typical eraser that's on the end of a pencil. I have a few of those, but that picks up the paper. I don't want that. I want my kneaded eraser. It's very kneaded. I don't have my very kneaded eraser. And we're just gonna move on without it. And then by the next the next live stream, I'm gonna make sure I have a stack of erasers. Like a little pile. Okay, anyway. Masking for them. It's fresh. So for this, I do not recommend using a nice, expensive brush. Masking fluid is pretty much just latex, liquid latex. Is it? Oh, I better be getting this right. Yes, natural rubber latex. Sometimes I know what I'm talking about. Not usually though. Anyway, don't do what I do, where you just pour it in the cap because then the cap gets gooey. But I always do it like this, and then I always regret it. I'll be honest, I really don't like the way it goos up on all my other items. That is not going to translate well on the internet. Never mind, I will never use those words again. Here we go. Let's just stop talking. Is it coming through? Focus good? Focus happening? Little stained glass magic. I just grabbed one of my old brushes. I'm going to be honest with you. I will be cleaning this brush and reusing it again, even though each time you use masking fluid, it really wrecks the brush. Because I don't mind having wrecked brushes. When I work with acrylic, the wrecked brushes are my favorite for texturing and dry brush work. So I tend to just save all my brushes, no matter what form they're in. But I do like to warn people that if you're going to be using masking fluid, do not use one of your nice brand new brushes. It will make you sad. You can ask me anytime why I know that. I didn't learn everything in art school. I also learned a lot of things through trial and error. Yes, I went to art school. Otis, College of Art and Design. And I learned a lot there. But they did not teach me about masking fluid there. I had to learn that myself. My dear friends just recently went to an art store just for fun, and that's something I wish everybody could do, especially these days. Art is more important than ever. Self-expression is more important than ever. I know you didn't ask, but by the way, if you have any questions, type it in. I'll look up every once in a while for more painting when I can. You know what? I think because this is a very boring part for you to watch. Like, come if you can watch if you want, but come back in like 15 minutes. I think next time I will preemptively plan it out, but I couldn't today. I couldn't come prepared with this today. I just nothing going on. I just wanted to come and chill. On the next time, I'll post the playlist that I'm listening to so that you can listen along with me. I'm not allowed to do that. I can share what I'm listening to as long as I'm not putting it in the video and streaming it. Gotta respect artists. Didn't pay them. Use their music. Another reason why you shouldn't do it in a cap like this is that it will make the bottle dry out faster. What I do. Messy painter often. Just find it's easier to take it out of the plastic cap. Now, if I had a bunch of just plastic caps sitting around, I'd probably just use those, and I have. You know, while those not reusable, sorry, plastic water bottles from Costco, packs of water bottles, the little ones. Those caps are really good for this kind of mess stuff. You're like, oh, I really don't want to clean up. Some pixie dust happening here. Some dots that will not. And then I'm going to be doing actually this exact class in person in Van Nuys next year. There's an amazing space called Third House, and they actually are already doing some in-person classes. It's a really cool space, created by artists for the community, and I'll be teaching there next year. For now, we're doing Watercolor Wednesdays just right here, live streaming, just having the background, yapping a little, painting. And as this is drying, I don't think I'm going to do the whole thing. I think I just want her wings to have the stained glass effect. Figured out how I'm going to paint her yet exactly because I can't find my eraser. So, well, the one I like anyway. Nothing wrong with rubber erasers. You are free to use rubber eraser. I just, it's a texture thing. I like the needed eraser. I need a needed eraser. That art joke is never going to end. You're going to hear it often. So this is a good time to decide what's in her hand. And yep. A raindrop is a great opportunity to paint some reflections, make it really shiny and glossy, or like a floating bubble of some sort. It just sounds like, oh, raindrop. But it would be a really nice opportunity for some reflective work. Oh, was that symbolic, reflective, self-reflective? Maybe we should do a raindrop. So it would be cute to have a raindrop like shape. I'm just gonna mask it out so I don't forget. Because I feel like we're talking about it right now, and this is a good time. Just commit to the idea. Look how it's like a flame. Is it a raindrop or a flame? We'll see. Alright, so remember how I said don't do what I do. You're gonna ruin your brush. But I don't mind having ruined brushes. actually a pretty forgiving masking medium. If you like this one, it's in my jar. And then while it's wet, it's actually pretty easy to clean out. So I'm going to tell you why I like to put it in the cap, even though you should not do that. You should have it in an actual proper receptacle, because when it dries, put it on, and you seal it and it dries, and you take it off, it just peels it off for you, and I guess I'm just lazy. But it's nice. But it does make the cap all gunky and gross and nasty. But masking fluid. We'll put that over there. We'll let her dry over here. While I fix, see how the colors change when they dry. So much fun. I love doing a palette before I paint, especially when it's the vibe painting. I don't know what I'm doing, where I'm headed. Okay, we're gonna fill in these while she dries over here. Can you see her? Look at it. Look at everything happening. This is where I go quiet again. Color mode food. I really do need to share my music playlists with you. Yes, more tangerine. Big enough of a tangerine. And sorry, that was fuchsia. Let's do sunshine yellow. Where's my tiger yellow? Over down there? Okay, I'll save that one for those palettes. We're still playing with tangerine and fuchsia. Okay. Oh, I love watercolor. Just beautiful. This is what I definitely need to get another camera. I'll be like, look at it. Look at it. Yeah, that sounds like a great time. Am I going to paint fairies every week? That is quite possible. Fairies, dragons. Next week I might do a fairy again. Let's see. If I do the masking ahead of time, I can do whatever I want, because then you don't have to sit there and wait for me to finish the masking. Unless we're going to be masking together. We'll see. Because if you join me, then we could do it at the same speed. There you are. Sunshine. That's why I like writing it. Keeps me focused. Because again, this method is very free form, so having some structure really helps me get kind of a thorough experiment. Do peacock blue. Ooh. Here's another look at it moment. Look at that. Is it not focusing? Look at my brush camera. Yes, much better. Literally pushing paint around. Well, I'm glad I did all the petals, but it hasn't changed my mind. I'm obsessed with this right here. This is what's happening. This is what I'm going to do here with a little bit of whatever this is. This is peacock blue mixed with sunshine yellow. This is what I did not expect. I knew I was going to be kind of going to the warm, sunset, soft kind of reds versus the power reds, right? This surprises me. I did not expect me to attract to that. It's very peaceful. All right, I'm going to put this over here to remind me. Let's check the latex. The latex needs to dry a little bit. I'm going to start working out her silhouette. So she's going to be white on the page. And I'm going to have a lot of saturated color around her. And I think her wings are going to have this kind of like, let me turn this around so I can match this vibe. Wait, should her wings have that? No, this is her background. And then her wings. Oops. Excellent. All right, let me get some more paper towel. For my last painting session. So this is a round. This is a flat. This is over. And I think I need a flat. It's got a nice spring to it, small enough to get into the corners. We're going to try with this one. So, laying down the water first. I didn't stretch this paper or anything, so there's going to be buckling, there's going to be all kinds of drama, and I don't even mind. We're used to drawing in this house. But next time maybe I'll prepare a little more. And now I've already moved to the angle brush. Yeah. So the angle brush is nice for those corners. Okay. It's nice to go from corner to flat. So because I didn't stretch this paper, I'm not going to move the entire area I'm going to paint all wet at the same time, so I'm going to be working in sections. Just fine for this piece. This is only going to go to 8:30. This live stream. So that's really quite interesting. I've lost this much track of time. Very on brand, honestly. I'm going to start with the lighter yellow and then work in the peacock blue. Whoops, too liberal. Too liberal. That's all right. Wow. I guess I wanted yellow. Sometimes that happens. This is the fun part with painting with watercolor. Is it likes it when you make mistakes. Alright, so I don't want to do that with peacock blue because this is very dark. So I'm going to put that in my palette here. I'm going to water it down and then start working it in. Oh my gosh, what it's doing. Shape of this brush is really fun too. Whoops. I guess she wanted to be a blonde. Going with water. Ooh. Love it when watercolor does watercolor. Reminds you if you just let go sometimes. Those beautiful things. Sometimes I have to check to make sure my painting is still in the frame. Let's, so see how I got the head wet and then I lost track of that? Now the blue is bleeding into that. What I'm going to do to control that a little bit, take a wet brush, get a little bit of the water off, but make sure it's not super dry. I'll come back to that once it's dried off a little. And I'll a little bit more extra. Turn it back around. It's probably not fun watching that upside down. more water, more water. And then I've got, by the time I finish this, I'll have about 15 minutes to make the stained glass effect. Hear my kiddo in the background. My husband's watching it and just leave him out there. Because it's really saturated here, I'm going to just follow that vibe, and then we're just nice. We're just going to let it on our way up. Like how I'm using the real wheat our way up because you're here with me. We're doing this together. I wish you could hear what I'm hearing. It's just so nice. I'm listening to one of the many Spotify chill hop radio. It's just so nice. It's very good vibe painting music. It's mellow, it's rhythmic, so that you can kind of keep moving with the brush, but it's not so distracting. The music has like really interesting lyrics or is telling a very interesting story. It takes up my processing power, and then I'm less focused on my painting. It's really good for when I know what I'm doing in a painting. For example, if I'm painting scales and it's a lot of the same over and over, I really like listening to very interesting music with lots of cool lyrics and storytelling. Because then I kind of get lost in the repetitive movement of the paintbrush while I listen to it. But right now, I'm really paying attention to what I'm doing. The whole idea of eye painting is being very present with the piece that you're doing because there really is no plan. Just kind of sit down and make something with what you have and what you feel like making. And honestly, that's hard. That's why I like the palette exercise because it really helps ground me where I'm at and figure out where am I at? What am I feeling like? What do I want to paint with? I'm surprised. All right. Oh, I'm 5 minutes early. It's 8:10. That means I've got 20 minutes to do the stained glass effect with this fuchsia that I've just been salivating over. My college self is wincing right now when I do this. And I take perfectly good watercolor paint and wipe it out of the palette. I could have used that. But I'm in a good place in my life now. I can afford to wipe away those 2 drops of watercolor. When I was in art college, I would buy art supplies before I bought food. I don't recommend that. But I was obsessed. Regarding that, always ask for help. Okay? If you need help, just ask for it. And when I wanted to appear strong and independent, I should have just asked for help. I'll paint about that later. Right now, and all right. So I'm thinking about where I want the fuchsia saturated the most. Do I want it saturated blending out? Do I want it saturated here moving up? Or do I want each? Ooh, I like talking about this with you. I want each segment to be doing that. What we're going to do is we're going to put a little fuchsia here. And then sunshine yellow over here. I'm going to be using so much sunshine yellow, says the person who has no more sunshine yellow left, right? Wow, I didn't know I used so much yellow. I'm not a yellow person. And if you know what that means, thank you. Congratulations. You might have synesthesia. Which I do not, by the way. I do not have synesthesia, though many have told me I do. The reason I don't have synesthesia is because there is an actual pattern recognition for people with synesthesia. They perceive my understanding. I could get this wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Like Tuesdays are yellow, right? I get that. I understand that. Not everybody with synesthesia has a color to the days of the week, but it's one of the forms it takes. My synesthesia is it doesn't really match any of those patterns. It's more like wires were crossed or something. Taste, color, flavor. That's why sometimes color makes me nauseous. Those of you that worked with me when I was a creative director are very familiar with this. And when you're an artist, a lot of that stuff is just accepted. Like, oh, you're an artist. You can taste color. Of course you can. But I was working on a campaign. I will not mention which campaign. We were doing a social media campaign for a children's movie. And there happened to be a color that was used quite dominantly in it. And I couldn't look at it. I felt so ill. I greatly disliked the campaign because of the color. Nothing wrong with the movie. Just the campaign itself made me physically ill, and of course I was creative director on it. So what I would do is every time a designer would send me a piece to look at, I had a file set up where I would just throw it in the file and it would turn everything black and white, so I wouldn't have to look at the color. And then I was able to look at the typography, the design, and everything because I figured that if they were willing to use that color in the campaign, I don't have to be that picky about what colors my designers are using because they're just going to do a better job. So that was one of the few campaigns where I was just like, do whatever color you guys think matches because honestly, and the client loved the campaign. It worked out. I am loving what's happening with this team. All right, we're going to get brave here since I have it all masked. Try something here on the lower end. This is why I love masking before. Especially when you want to do vibe painting, it creates a structure to kind of explore in. I promise you. I don't know if we're going to be doing the live stream next week or the week after. I have to look at my schedule. I will have erasers by then. I just think it's hilarious that one of the key things that I use all the time was not available to me today for live stream. And it makes sense. For example, the thing that I use the most is what I need to get more of, yes? Question, swallowtail. Very pigmented? Yes. Yes. We're just gonna boom. Yeah, good call. Especially since it's so saturated with the yellow here, it's gonna really help that swallowtail path. Let's get a little bit more saturation for these areas. The way this color dries is just magnificent. Is that the word I'm looking for? Do we say that anymore? Do we say magnificent anymore? Oh. There's a lot of satisfaction to come from a planned work of art that you really thought about. It's got good composition, great color balance, right? You really worked at it. I love it when a painting like that comes out. I think it's very good for my personally my self esteem because when you put work into something and it turns out you get to tell yourself, I did that, finish that. That being said, there is something special about just going forth and making a mess, just accepting whatever comes of it. So things are great. I would like to put some texture on there. See if it's at the right. It's got to be a little bit damp, not wet and not dry. Let's see if it works. I'm going to see if I can bring it into the camera. And, sorry, is it focused? Use the right words. I'm just dropping clean water onto it. Create some very flat texture. And you can only do it where it's really damp and not wet. So that's dry enough. Let's get some structure in that soil. This time I'm using a round brush for a little bit more control. You see the way the paint. You should do that actually. Let me create a couple of drips in here. I think a lot of people that have told me, oh my gosh, watercolor is so hard, didn't have an hour to sit with it. I had to paint something in like 15 minutes when somebody told them, put water on, push the paint around. And then they didn't get to experience what it's like after that first layer dries. And we put on another layer. And you mush some more paint around. It's blasted the way it layers. Oh, okay. Turning into almost like a batik. What am I doing on time? Ooh, 6 more minutes. I'm gonna turn this off. And then what I'll do is I'll post on my Patreon this finished piece, and I'll probably make it this month's download. So for my Patreon, I create unwatermarked downloads that you can use as a wallpaper on your phone or your desktop. That's my fairies tier, actually. You can also follow me on Patreon for free. I post all my art there. I like it because they're not training their algorithm. It's just my art. You follow me there because you want to know what I'm doing, what I'm up to. So I use that instead of Instagram and Facebook, although I still have my Instagram and Facebook accounts because I like to support other artists who are on there. I find it's been much more rewarding to have my art on Patreon and post there. You guys seen this? Yes. Big, 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 big spots. I want big spots here. And then I want it to get little, 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 little. Into a very fun and therapeutic piece. All from a color palette. 8:27. Let's see how many more boot blocks I can get before I turn this off. And thank you for coming. And thank you for being while I worked on this. And next time we do this, you can send me a request ahead of time of what you want to paint with me, if you want to paint along with me, or if you just want to vibe out and chill and be like, hey, be a puppy. Like, oh, or a chicken. We definitely should do a chicken. They're so funny. They're so cute. I was never a chicken lady, but now I've become the chicken lady because we have chickens. Forgot to add that. Oh my god. I got chickens because my kiddo wanted chickens, and now I'm in love with them. All right, how are we doing? 8:27. What am I gonna focus on? 3 more minutes, guys. For my next trick, next live stream. If you do have a request, you can send it to me to my contact form on my website or to my Patreon. You don't have to follow me there. You don't have to pay a tier to follow me there. It's free to follow. Just download Patreon, follow me, and you'll just get free art. What's happening with this? I'm gonna use this angle brush. I'm curious. I'm gonna see if I can cut into the hair with this. Let's see what happens. I'm going from wet to dry, and I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not mad about it. This is the final piece, dried. And after I erase some of the graphite, because I'll buy an eraser, and I'll take off the latex. Sorry, masking fluid. Masking fluid. It is made out of latex, but I need to just say the words masking fluid so that the algorithm brings the people to the video who are into masking fluid. Latex is fine. I do enjoy it, but that's not what this video is about. A little bit more cutting. And 8:30. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Here's the piece. This is what we worked on today. Follow me on Patreon. Links should be in the description if I did the YouTube thing right. If not, my apologies. I'll do better next time. Take care. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned. This is all right. One last thing before I go. This is the first time I'm ending a stream on YouTube, and it says, "Your stream will stop immediately, and you will no longer be live." Why so aggressive? Okay,